Hello, I'm Beth Joey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. This is the channel where I paint my face, turn my camera on, and talk about some books. I am a little bit late off the mark to this one, but I want to talk to you guys about some of my anticipated releases for this summer, both ones that have come out through the month of June and ones that we can look forward to over July and August. None of these books are books that I have in my hand at the moment, so for me, they are still anticipated releases. I have 3 videos coming out that follow this general theme. The first video is a thriller and fantasy list combined because I have less books on those lists. The second list is just historical books, and the third list is romance. But starting with the biggest list first, we are going to talk about the thriller and fantasy releases that I am looking forward to coming out this summer. But before I get started, let me know what those books are for you, what thrillers and fantasies you cannot wait for. I'd love to see if some of our books are the same, if we're looking forward to the same sorts of things. But yeah, let's start with thriller book number 1. These books are in no particular order, so we are starting with My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey, which came out on the 6th of June 2022. Tessa Bailey is obviously like a really big romance author, so when I saw that she was coming out with a murder mystery, I was immediately hooked. So as for the blurb, I'm going to be reading all of these from Goodreads, sorry about it, and the blurb says, "It was supposed to be a relaxing vacation in sweet sunny Cape Cod, just me and my beloved brother, but discovering a corpse in our rental house really throws a wrench into our tanning schedule. Now a rude, crude bounty hunter has arrived on the back of his motorcycle to catch the killer and refuses to believe I can be helpful despite countless hours of true crime podcast listening, not to mention a fulfilling teaching career of wrangling second graders. A brash bounty hunter and an energetic elementary school teacher, the murder-solving team no one asked for, but thanks to these pesky attempts on my life, we're stuck together, come hell or high tide. I'm just here to do a job, not babysit an amateur sleuth, although it is becoming less and less of a hardship to have her around. Sure, she's stubborn, distracting, and can't stay out of harm's way. She's also brave and beautiful and reminds me of the home I left behind 3 years ago. In other words, the painful hunger and protectiveness she is waking up in me is a threat to my peace of mind. Before I sink any deeper into this dangerous attraction, I need to solve this murder and get back on the road. But will fate take her from me before I realize the road has been leading to her all along?" So it's definitely a romance, but I've put it on the thriller list because it sort of revolves around a murder mystery. So I don't know, it could have gone on the romance list, but I am super keen to see what Tessa Bailey does with this genre. I've never seen any books by her in the murder mystery genre before, so let's see. The next book is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, which came out on the 21st of June 2022. So as for what this one is about, it says, Casey Fletcher, a recently widowed actress trying to escape a streak of bad press, has retreated to the peace and quiet of her family's lake house in Vermont. Armed with a pair of binoculars and several bottles of liquor, she passes the time watching Tom and Catherine Royce, the glamorous couple who live in the house across the lake. They make for good viewing. A tech innovator, Tom is rich, and a former model, Catherine is gorgeous. One day on the lake, Casey saves Catherine from drowning, and the two strike up a budding friendship. But the more they get to know each other and the longer Casey watches, it becomes clear that Catherine and Tom's marriage is not as perfect and placid as it appears. When Catherine suddenly vanishes, Casey becomes consumed with finding out what happened to her. In the process, she uncovers eerie, darker truths that turn a tale of voyeurism and suspicion into a story of guilt, obsession, and how looks can be very deceiving. With his trademark blend of sharp characters, psychological suspense, and gasp-worthy surprises, Riley Sager's The House Across the Lake unveils more than one twist that will shock readers onto the very last page. This one, I got hooked on it, not because I've ever read anything by Riley Sager before, though this author is one that's on my list of authors that I want to read some of their stuff for. I want to try them out, but because it reminded me of a movie that I can't remember the name of, where the guy is in a wheelchair and he has a camera and he looks into all the windows of like his neighbors or the people in the building across from him, like through this camera, and I think he sees a murder happen. And anyway, it reminded me of that movie, so I was immediately kind of like interested in it. So yeah, we'll pick that one up hopefully soon. Next up, we've got The Girl Who Survived by Lisa Jackson, which came out on the 28th of June, I believe, and this one hooked me because I like the idea of thrillers that are set around, you know, one person's left alive and all of a sudden everything's coming back. So yeah, I'm really intrigued. But as for what it's about, it says, the lone survivor of a brutal family massacre must uncover the awful truth about the fateful night that left her forever marked. Has she already had her last chance to be the final girl? All her life she's been the girl who survived. Orphaned at age 7 after a horrific killing spree at her family's Oregon cabin, Cara McIntyre is still searching for some kind of normal. But now, 20 years later, the past has come thundering back. Her brother, Jonas, who was convicted of the murders, has unexpectedly been released from prison. The press is in a frenzy again. And suddenly, Cara is receiving cryptic messages from her big sister, Marley, who hasn't been seen or heard from since that deadly Christmas Eve, when she hid little Cara in a closet with a haunting, life-saving command: don't make a sound. As people close to her start to die horrible deaths, Kara, who is slowly and surely unraveling, believes she is the killer's ultimate target. Kara survived once, but will she survive again? How many times can she be the girl who survived? So yeah, that idea of like a past murder mystery coming back to haunt the people that were left alive really, really interests me. And the last book in the thriller section is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which comes out on the 30th of August 2022, so right at the very, very end of summer. I am unbelievably excited for this book. I have been waiting for the third book in the trilogy to like the Inheritance games for so long, and I'm immediately going to pick this up as soon as it comes out. I'm going to do a full-on like trilogy reread. I might make a vlog out of it, I don't know, but I'm so keen. As for what the Inheritance games is about, despite the fact that I know that I loved it, I don't remember a ton about it because it was so long ago since I last read it, so I am going to read the Goodreads blurb again. And it says, Avery Grams has a plan for a better future: survive high school, win a scholarship, and get out. But her fortunes change in an instant when billionaire Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves Avery virtually his entire fortune. The catch? Avery has no idea why, or even who Tobias Hawthorne is. To receive her inheritance, Avery must move into sprawling, secret passage-filled Hawthorne house, where every room bears the old man's touch and his love of puzzles, riddles, and codes. Unfortunately for Avery, Hawthorne House is also occupied by the family that Tobias Hawthorne just dispossessed. This includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, dangerous, magnetic, brilliant boys who grew up with every expectation that one day they would inherit billions. Heir apparent Grayson Hawthorne is convinced that Avery must be a con woman, and he's determined to take her down. His brother, Jameson, views her as their grandfather's last hurrah, a twisted riddle, a puzzle to be solved. Caught in a world of wealth and privilege, with danger around every turn, Avery will have to play the game herself just to survive. Literal goosebumps. I love that this book is so much like Knives Out, the movie with Daniel Craig. I loved that movie so much. So yeah, I'm going to sesh this series once this book comes out. I'm so excited. But as for the rest of this video, we are now jumping into the 3 fantasy anticipated releases that are coming out this summer, starting with Lore Olympus Volume 2, which came out or comes out on the 5th of July, depending on when I release this video. I know it's technically already out on NetGalley, I think it is, but I'm the sort that likes to read graphic novels in hard copy. I don't like reading them on my iPad or anything because it messes with the formatting. So yeah, this one is coming out or came out soon. I don't know when this video is coming out, so I guess we'll determine based on that. Lore Olympus is a Hades and Persephone retelling set in a modern context where all the gods are fickle as always. Lore Olympus Volume 1 covers Hades and Persephone meeting and flirting and him coming to her rescue in a very like heroic way. I'm intrigued to see how the story is going to move on from that going into Volume 2. I'm looking to see their relationship grow. So yeah, I don't know a lot about the Hades and Persephone story, so this is kind of like my introduction to that, and then if I like this, maybe I'll go and read some other Hades and Persephone stuff. The second book is These Twisted Bonds by Lexi Ryan, which comes out in July, I think it is. Yeah, the 19th of July 2022. This video will definitely be out by then, so that's when that one comes out. This one, I haven't actually read the first book in this series, These Hollow Vows, but I do have the Fairy Loot, I think it is, edition, and I have pre-ordered the Fairy Loot edition for the second book, and I know that this is something I'm going to like. But as for what These Hollow Vows is about, I'm just going to read you the blurb. And it says, Bree hates the Fae and refuses to have anything to do with them, even if that means starving on the street. But when her sister is sold to the sadistic king of the Unseelie court to pay a debt, she'll do whatever it takes to get her back, including making a deal with the king himself to steal 3 magical relics from the Seelie court. Gaining unfettered access to the Seelie court is easier said than done. Bree's only choice is to pose as a potential bride for Prince Ronan, and she soon finds herself falling for him. Unwilling to let her heart distract her, she accepts help from a band of Unseelie misfits with their own secret agenda. As Bree spends time with their mysterious leader Finn, she struggles to resist his seductive charm. Caught between 2 dangerous courts, Bree must decide who to trust with her loyalty and with her heart. So I love that there's like a fake relationship aspect and then obviously a love triangle as well. I'm usually not a huge fan of love triangles, but I don't mind it in this case. So yeah, when the second book comes out, I might do a vlog where I read both of them in one go. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. So those are 7 anticipated releases in the thriller and the fantasy genres that I am looking forward to this summer. Let me know if any of these books are on your list as well. If you've read any of the like previous books, for the ones that are sequels, and if you've loved them, if you've hated them, what else you're looking forward to this summer. I do love to chat to you guys in the comments down below, and I do my best to reply to every single comment. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you did by liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell all down below. It is a super easy way to help my channel grow, and I will see you lovely people in my next video. Bye!